Hello pilots, and welcome back to another Eve Echoes video. Today, you're probably wondering why I am in a Cormorant Guardian. Well, I'll get into all that and more as we have our next Corp event for TVDI. Okay, so let's quickly go over some of the details of this Corp event. This is going to be titled the Destroyer Derby. This is going to be taking place, or took place, on May 14th. It's been a while since I've posted, but wanted to make sure I got this out, and we'll be doing some more consistent content coming up. But specifically for this event, we try to get as many people together as possible and just have a free-for-all battle. The last PvP event that I posted was all ship sizes, but round-based, and that kind of ended up in a little bit of teaming. So I wanted to just go straight up free-for-all with the destroyer size, no factions because there are no faction destroyers in the game yet, and just kind of see what would happen. You know, the rules are simple. You only can use destroyer size ships. Any tier level is fine, from tier 5 Guardians to tier 10 assault destroyers. So our main goal here was to have fun. I was hoping to get some crazy weapon and fitting combinations. I think I was the only one that ended up doing that, and we'll cover that a little bit after this announcement. But the basic rules are only destroyers. All weapons and fittings are going to be allowed. You can use whatever you want that you can fit on that destroyer ship. Once the derby begins, you cannot enter. So once we start, we don't want people coming in late and taking advantage of that early lead. And you cannot leave unless you blow up. If you warp off, you forfeit, no prize. We won't be having any warp off chase race contests here. And the top 3 ships left standing at the end of the event will receive an ISK payout. And we're mostly doing this for fun. I like to throw prizes, my own personal ISK at the Corp members, and just kind of do some interesting things here. Let's go over some of the prizes that we had, and this was all in ISK prizes. So top 3 ships are going to get paid out. The first prize is going to be 200 million ISK. The second prize was 100 million ISK, and the third place prize was 50 million ISK. So this is just for the last 3 ships standing. The last one to be left would be first place. So your goal is to last as long as possible and outlive everybody else. And how you go about doing that, whether you go all offense or all defense, completely up to everybody building their ships. So that brings me back to my Cormorant Guardian, a ship that you do not see used very often in this game at all. And I wanted to come up with something unique that nobody else would do, so I put together a few things here. We have small missiles in the top slots, and that's because I have highest in missile skill, and I'm basically just building defensive. I have a web to keep things at a distance, a small shield field just for the extra resistance, and also because my small missiles will hit outside of my small shield, so I'll still be able to hit things if I can keep them away from me. Okay, I didn't consider the nerf to shield fields recently, but still looking to fit as defensively as possible here. So we got an afterburner so I can't get scrambled, a battery in case they have a neutralizer in the mid slots to drain me, a adaptive shield for extra resistance during the fight, and finally a small booster just to last as long as possible and keep that repairing. Going over to the rigs, you'll see a pattern of defense here. I have the Corp defense field rig, the anti-EM to kind of shore up some of our EM resistance, and some capacitor control circuits, and a semiconductor memory. Those are just to maintain as much capacitor as I can. Again, afraid somebody was going to put a neutralizer in their mid slot for this fight. And then I got a little crazy and put a blue nanocore on it too, just for some bonus shield, trying to get as much defense out of this as possible. Only 111 DPS per second, but that's not our focus. The goal is to be last one standing, or at least second to last one standing. So going into our skills a little bit, just wanted to showcase what I have. I spent some Lazarus units just so I could have something invested in destroyers, because I usually never pilot destroyers. You can see we have only up to advanced destroyer on the command part. In my weapon skills, this is the reason I went with small missiles, is because I have small missiles pretty much maxed out from flying the Condor Interceptor. I have both the upgrade maxed out and the regular skills maxed out. Over in the engineering category, we have Destroyer Engineering 4. I don't think I put a lot of points into advanced engineering either. Just pretty much the basics. I wasn't going to invest too heavily in this, but I also didn't want to be a complete piece of paper.
Undocking.
So undocking into the vastness of space here, we're gonna double check our defense, turn on our mods, and see about how much extended HP we're working with. This is a Guardian ship. I was expecting to see pretty good numbers. This is just with the adaptive field on. We have not quite 15,000 defense overall. Our resistances aren't great, but let's turn on that small shield field and see how it bumps it up here. Okay, a little bit better. We're about 16, halfway to 17,000 with approximately 70%, upwards of 77% resists on board, but still nothing compared to my Moa Guardian or my Ferox Guardian, if you've ever seen those in the other videos that I've done. Not even close to that. Those had around 90% defense. We can see we're cap stable, which is fun, I guess, because we want this to last long, but our max speed is around 850 ms, so not too fancy, not too great. I was trying to build something literally as defensive as possible with the destroyer caveat in mind. So let's warp off to the sun, engage our corp mates in our meeting spot, and see who's ready to go and how this is going to go down. Okay, checking out our first competitor here, we have the 12th man. He's running a tier 10 destroyer assault. It's the Talwar 2 assault, to be precise. I believe small missiles, dangerous ship, very high damage, very scary to be running into that, especially when it's the first thing to show up. Beautiful design though as we check it out, and this is a ship that I think I would really want to pilot if I was to get heavy into destroyers, just because I love small missiles, but I can't quite find that motivation to invest into the destroyer size ship. So just for fun, we're going to compare these two, see how much damage that Talwar 2 assault can put out against my Guardian. Okay, and it looks like our next competitor's arrived. It looks like Jessny is going to be driving a Cormorant Navy issue. This is one of the basic destroyers that you get early on in the game, and something that I think a lot of people underestimate for its ability to perform. It's got decent speed, you know, still has the 2 rig slots on both sides, but missiles are good, and I think in a free-for-all situation, this actually might surprise some people. This is one of the free ships that I handed out just to make sure that we had enough competitors that were available with the destroyer size. Again, not a lot of people's favorite size ship, so just looking to have fun, I just handed out a couple, and this is basic fit, tier 1 rigs, I think MK7, MK5-ish gear, depending on who was using it, just to kind of get more participation. Okay, our next competitor is going to be Fenukite. He's coming in with the modified Thrasher. This was the ship that was on sale from NetEase for about $3.99, I believe, on the shop, and it's just kind of like a basic ship to kind of get you into the flow of things, the destroyer size. Our first Thrasher, so we'll see how that compares to everything. I'm not sure if he had the nano core with it or if it just comes with the skin, but still kind of a cool looking different ship to be bringing, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's small cannons on the Thrasher, so we'll see how that compares in the free-for-all and how we do. And our last competitor is going to be Crash Override, driving a Catalyst Navy issue. And this is again one of the free ships I handed out, small rails, 2 rigs on both sides, again just like the Cormorant Navy issue, and just kind of a basic starter fit just to participate in the tournament and add some more numbers to the chaos. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see who comes out on top. Pure free for all. Get ready to go, lock on, and fight. Alright, congratulations to Crash Override for 3rd place, Fenukite for 2nd place, and the 12th man coming in 1st place. You all received your prizes, 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, and I really appreciate everybody coming out, having fun. Hopefully we can get a larger crowd next time and really add to the chaos. One thing I did want to add at the very end here is just how disappointed I was with the Cormorant Guardian and just the Guardian Destroyer in general. These ships were designed to be kind of protectors and take damage, and as you saw from the fight, I took maybe 3 volleys from a destroyer and blew up. With my shield field active, with my resistance up, I pretty much built it as defensive as possible and still went down in 3 shots, so very disappointing. I would like to see them either do something more with these ships or just leave them out of the game altogether, because I can't think of a single situation where anybody would want to drive a Cormorant Guardian other than to be completely trolly. If you have any suggestions for this ship, if you feel differently, please post in the comments and we can discuss. If you've ever used a Cormorant Guardian or Destroyer Guardian for anything in the game, let me know. Maybe I'm missing something, but from what I built and what I experienced, this ship is... it's difficult for me to say. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to classify it as useless. Hopefully some improvements can be made there, but for now, just very disappointing in general. But if you enjoyed the event, if you want to see more content like this or something else, feel free to leave a like, hit subscribe, comment down below, and I hope to see you back on the next video for Eve Echoes.
Destined docking request accepted.